Hi everyone, this is like my third time recording this and I'm not pissed off at all. Okay, so this is a video update because I thought it would be quicker to do than writing it, and this has turned out to be false, but I'm soldiering on. So last time we talked about this roadmap. Basically what it is a description of steps that need to be taken to get the site to a stage where it can be released to the, well, not released to the public, but a state where the live version of the site can be updated, and a handful of people can begin using it to create their own profiles and so on and so forth to test it. And then from there we'll consider launch dates and so on. So where are we? We're basically here. An editor has been made for a section of the site. That is not all the editors, it is an editor, but that's a decent amount of progress because the first editor is sort of the hardest because it's using a bunch of systems that all the editors need, and that means that I've wrote those now and subsequent editors will be easier to create. The account system has been partially re-implemented. This is sort of an oversimplification of why it needed to be re-implemented. The main reason is actually because I switched programming languages, and that means I just had to rewrite a bunch of code, and I also switched databases, which again made it so I had to write a bunch of code again. But that's almost done now, and should be smooth sailing from now on. So let's look at the site. So here's the library. This is the section of the site that I've created an editor for. The other sections I have not yet. So each section, the asset store, the talent database, the forums, these will all need their own editors because you're creating different things on each of those sections of the site. On the library, well, I'll just show you how it works and then I'll begin explaining. So we have the library here with an interface with a bunch of buttons. This is the same as like the talent database, for example. So we've got a bunch of buttons here, and we won't choose any, we'll just search, and we get a bunch of results. I forgot about this stupid one I added when I was doing the previous video, but whatever. So these results are all real in the sense that I've used the editor to add them to the site, and they can also be deleted through the site as well. I don't need to dig into the code to do that. So here's a bunch of results. If we choose one, then it shows it to us. We've got a bunch of tags here for it. It's obviously got a title and an author, and then a little word count here telling you how many words is in it, and an estimate of how long that would take you to read based on, words per minute I found online, like an average I found online. And then, buttons here to like edit stuff and whatnot. So you can click edit here, and you can type whatever you want. You can just be like, "Hi mom," and then submit that. And now it says that. I don't want it to say that, so I'm going to get rid of that. And then you can also submit like it with different tags and so on, so I can choose analyses here and then submit it. Now it's got the analyses tag, and if I go back over here and choose analyses and search, now it appears under this. These little dots here mean it's site-defined tags, so these are site-defined tags, and then these are user-defined tags. And when you search things, it only shows the site-defined tags just to stop things from getting too cluttered. So yeah, this delete button obviously deletes it. I'm not going to show you that, but I will delete that stupid entry I saw here that I was using as an example. So this made sense in the previous video. It doesn't make any sense now. Okay, so let's delete it. And it deleted it, as you would expect. So it's not there in the results anymore. Now, what was I going to tell you? Oh yeah, and then this add to collection button adds it to a collection. A collection is basically like a playlist on YouTube or something. You just add a bunch of stuff that you want to review later there, and then you can search it using these tools later. You can choose My Collections, and then a little thing will pop down here saying, which collection do you want to search through? And then, you search through it. So that's that. I think that's everything. Yeah, so these buttons up here will obviously only be available if you're logged in. So I'll just demonstrate by logging out now. We'll just watch these. They disappear. the collection button over here also disappears. So that's that, and now let's log back in. So logging in with your handle doesn't work yet, so I'm using a fake email address I made up. And let's log in. So now let's go to the account. So as you can see, it's sort of, if you remember how it looked before, it sort of looks the same. You got this search bar, which will allow you to search through anything in your account. So if you want to, I don't know, you're looking for a particular message in your inbox or something, it might just be easier to search for it here rather than going messages, inbox, and then searching through a list here. I'm not sure whether this will be practical because it might be very slow performing if it's searching through all that stuff. Or maybe it won't, who knows. So there's that, and then, yeah, then you'll be able to switch personas here if you have multiple personas. There's a little button here to add new personas, and you know, your name, your display name is optional, you don't have to choose one. It's sort of like on Twitter, I don't know if you have to have a name there, but you definitely have to have a handle, so it'd be like my handle or whatever it would be. And I'm not going to submit that now because adding new personas doesn't work at the moment, but it will in the future, and it's not hard to implement, so I'll be doing that later today, probably. I just wanted to submit something, you know, an update today because, you know, I'm being paid to do this now through Patreon, so that's good. And yeah, so these things don't work yet because I've just implemented these again, but I'm working on that. And so next time I do an update, this should be at least partially working. Other than this, you can't really do much here. So, yeah. I think that's it, and thank you everyone for, like, watching, and if you're supporting me on Patreon, thanks for that as well. It really does, like, help, because there's been several times where I've just not had enough money to pay for all the stuff, related to the site, like the domain names. I mean, the domain names you pay for once a year, but, you know, I've sort of divided it up by 12 months, and, you know, and, you know, the hosting costs and so on and so forth. I'm probably also going to get a mailing service to help me, you know, distribute mail, because the mail server I'm using now is getting flagged as like a spammer or whatever, and it's not turning up in people's inboxes, which is really frustrating because a lot of people have been reserving handles and they're not getting their confirmation email address. Kind of annoying, but oh well. We'll sort that out later. So, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for supporting me if you do. Obviously, this is my Patreon here. So, it's just, I don't even know what it is. It's like Patreon/Jake Burkett, I think. Yeah, JakeBowkett. So, if you can support me, that would be great. Because, yeah, the next thing I'm going to do is get equipment updates, like, you know, hard drive for backing up stuff and things like that. So that, you know, my computer doesn't die. Anyway, thanks for watching, and goodbye.